Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the CPA-fol podcast. And if you're new here, it's CPA because I actually am a CPA, and A-fol because we are both A-fols. All right, we both check that box. So just a little podcast, just bros talking Lego. I mean, does it get much better than that? I would say no.
I can't imagine a better podcast.
Exactly. So that's what we're doing here. You know, I'm gonna phase out this music because it's just getting a little loud. Got a couple people in chat already. Thanks for stopping by. We've got Moments of the Magic. How's it going? Good to see you today. And Scott Davis, the Faithfuls, here from the not from the very beginning, but the very beginning of the podcast, the Faithfuls. Thank you so much for stopping by. Of course, as I do every week on a normal basis, we've got Brickotomy joining us today to talk some Lego news. Now, maybe some atypical Lego news. This isn't going to be like new sets coming out, discounts. This is more like Lego in your everyday news. So like these are news items that could show up on a local news station. So I'm kind of interested just to see what we'll find today, because I really it could be almost anything.
But have you done some digging into these topics a little bit, and are you coming into this with a fresh take, or is it something you've been studying up on your end for a little bit now?
Low key for like a couple hours. I did some searching just because to be very transparent with our viewers, I had a guest lined up, and you may notice that I'm very proactive for next week's episode because I already have that live set up and ready to go with the thumbnail and all that jazz. We will be interviewing, or the plan is to interview a Lego designer for the Bricklink program next week. Of course, had to push that off, unfortunately. But it's because they just wanted to get a little bit more familiar with how we do things here. Just wanted to get a little more introduction and talk first before we go live with them next week. So that's kind of why I'm a little bit disheveled this week, but still trying to find some interesting stuff. So I did... So we did kind of find some topics a little bit last minute, but I still think they're interesting, and I hope you find them interesting as well. But as we do kind of start off every week where we just, go over anything new between us for the week or for the period. So purchases, of course, all that jazz, just anything new that we've got our eyes set on. Of course, the Bricklink Designer Program is now closed for voting for Series 3. So it'll be interesting to see where those votes lie. Unfortunately, we probably won't be finding anything out until November.
Yeah, it's too soon.
Which, it would be nice to have a little transparency with that. But, it's just how it works, I guess. So, can't complain too much there. Do you have any new buys this week? Did you pick up any Lego sets this week?
Well, say yes, but not yet. That's pending, because I'd say right about as soon as I finish this podcast today, I'm going out to pick up a incredible deal from this guy on Facebook Marketplace. What's your experience with Facebook Marketplace, and have you found any good deals?
So I've actually found some good deals on Facebook Marketplace. And I'm trying to get the music started back up. I just hope it's not too loud. If anyone in the chat, let me know if it's too loud. Don't want to blow everyone ears out with music, but my experience with Facebook Marketplace so far with Lego is pretty good. The first one was the Lego, or the Eternals Airship set. It retailed for $60, got it for $20.
And I would say that I found that to be pretty typical for marketplace buys, you can find some sets and some sellers on there that are selling them for a pretty decent discount. And I've also discovered they're pretty fairly good condition most of the time as well. What I'll do is I'm going to send you this photo here. CPA.
Yep. And on the opposite end, you can also find people with very, very opposite takes. So, for instance, someone is trying to sell the Lego Stormtrooper mech for $20. And here's what they claim in the description. Brand new, never opened Lego Star Wars Stormtrooper mech. It comes with 138 pieces. Says the age limit should be 6+. Some store prices run from $25 to $30. And I'm selling it for a big discount. I'm like, what on earth are you on? And I literally sent them a link and said, you know, they're selling for actually like $13 right now, right?
Oh,
you can get them
you
anywhere.
Do that too?
I only did it for that one. I haven't done that before, but yeah. So
I'll say I have definitely done that before. I'll be scrolling and I'll be like, wait, what? And I'll get on there and be like, dude, like I can get this on Amazon and Walmart right now for like $50 less than what you're selling.
Exactly.
Like, what are you thinking? I'm helping you as much as I'm helping me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and Scott's got a good point. A lot of them are moms trying to get rid of their grown-up children sets.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Like, also, like you can definitely tell that some people like on there have got the set numbers, the MSRP price, what they're selling it for. They've got all their ducks in a row. They know everything about what they're selling. And then there's people like, oh, I found this in an attic. Somebody want it.
Or I'll actually tell you a fun little story when I grab these sets.
Yeah.
And I want to make content with them for a little bit before I actually do. Before I ever open them. I'm not sure when I'm actually going to open them, or if, honestly. But I did show a picture on Instagram story. I think I may have shared this on a previous podcast, but this is a sealed, new in box, tape still there, Bionicle from 2015, the G2. So it had the new platform of building the CCBS, and $10. I think that's cheaper than retail when they first dropped. It was like $12 or $15, and they were selling it for $10. And what the guy said was, he's like, he was probably in his early 60s, I'd guess. Him and his wife were out front, like repainting their deck or something when I went and picked it up, and he's like, yeah, my mom kept buying me these stuff like over the past couple years, and I just never opened them. She just kept buying them for me and giving them to me. So I really I don't need them. And I was like, if you have any more, let me know. Unfortunately, I don't think they do. I know, right? And they had like 2012 Lego Star Wars set. I looked at their history on Facebook Marketplace. They had a couple, like 2 or 3, 2012. 2010 Lego Star Wars sets sealed that they were selling for like $30. Basically retail. They were selling them for retail like 10 years later. I'm like, oh, I wish I would have seen those. Oh my goodness. But I picked this up Facebook Marketplace a couple weeks ago. This same thing, $30, which is above retail. I think retail was like $20, but I mean that was in 2015, 2016. Sealed again, box is in pretty good condition, and I mean they're selling now for like $80. So
that's very interesting. That, you know, another thing I've noticed as I've been trying to go back and start getting sets that I've missed in the past, right? And I'm also looking for deals on newer sets. That there's a threshold where I'm trying to get good deals, but at the same time, I'm willing to go a little bit above MSRP if I get one of these things that I've been really looking for.
Oh yeah, most certainly. Because I mean, yeah, when the older you get, of course, and the more niche, depending on which theme you're looking at, you really have to go above MSRP.
Yeah, but if it's one that it's like, sometimes I really kick myself. I'm like, man, that just retired a year and a half ago. Like, I can't believe I didn't manage to pick that one up.
Yeah.
You know, then at that point, I'm like, all right, now I'd probably be more willing to like get it for $10 or $15 above, because I might not have really any other option.
Yeah, and then, if you wait 5 years or so, it's going to be
Exactly.
double at the very least.
So what I'm trying to get at here is this is the lesson for everybody: is that you should immediately go get in your car and buy every Lego set that there is,
Because you never know.
because you'll just regret it in the
You
future.
really never
But
know.
you never know. But anyways, yeah, if you want to pull up the picture I sent you,
Yeah, let me go
and
on stream.
this is where I'm going to pick up after the call here,
Uh,
and
all 4 of these sets?
all 4 of these sets, and I've got their retail prices listed
Yeah, let me
right there.
getting it up. Trying to find my window capture.
I promise we've done this before.
This is my first time. All right, gotta push you to the side. Okay, so we got it up on stream.
So, first of all, how familiar are you with NASA's Artemis mission?
Not very. The top left one, I imagine, or this whole
No.
thing, or just in general.
Well, so NASA's Artemis mission is, to test over the course of, several missions to test, like, our capability of sustaining ourselves in deep space, right? And their city theme came out with a line calling to the Artemis missions, and this is all 4 of them.
Ooh.
All 4 of them sealed in the box, with a retail price of,
Yeah, what's the total?
didn't add it
I
up,
can add
but
it
I
up
think
real quick.
I think it's just above $400.
410. 410 is our total.
So to get the entire Artemis set on Lego.com right now would be $410. And I found this on Facebook Marketplace, and not only did I find it cheap, I talked him down as well. So take a gander or a guess at what you think.
So I will put some personal purchasing in there because I did pick up 2 of these sets from Walmart. I picked up the bottom right one because this was in my stage earlier this year where I was like, all right, I'm going to go into, I did my little Walmart discount challenge where I was like, all right, I'm going to go into the Lego aisle. I'm not going to look at, I always go in, whenever I go into the Lego aisle, traditionally, I walk in there, I walk past everything, go straight to Star Wars. Yep, that's Star Wars, and then I walk away. So this time I was like, I'm going there with fresh eyes. I'm not going to, yeah, exactly, Squidman, Brickseek moment. I'm not going to go for Star Wars. I'm going to go for a deal. I'm going to find what the best deal that I possibly can, best value. And so that's when I ended up getting the Zerg battle because it was like $17 for a $35 set. So like, I like the value. You get those 2 figs. They both have arm printing. You get the cool additional minifigure accessories. The Zerg mech's pretty cool too. So that's what I went with. I went back and I got, long story to say, I got this city set because those figs are like awesome. They both are dual molded arms. They've got the gold. They've got the maybe some arm printing. Maybe one of them is arm printing. I think he's got a little like accessory arm printing. And then the little roving vehicle was cool. And so I picked it up for $24, I think. So it was like 45% off. So I got that one for 25 or 4. And then I got the lunar space station for, I think that was just a flat 40 or like 35. So either,
so you have this set.
Correct. I've got the 2 bottom ones.
Oh, nice. Well, you just got to get the two other
Exactly.
set.
The top left one looks really cool. And I did see the lunar research station, I think wasn't quite on discount or was just sold out. So
honestly, I found this because I got on there specifically looking for the $159.99 one. I was like, all right, I want the Artemis rocket.
Yep.
I don't necessarily want to buy it full price. Let me see if I can find it on a deal. And this guy had all 4.
So I'm going to hope for if it's 410, I'm going to hope for an average discount to be a good deal of at least 40% off. So you're paying 60% retail is my guess. So that puts us at around $250.
That is what they were listed for, $250.
So you got them down to 200?
I got them down to 200, 200 cash.
So like a 53% off ish.
Exactly, for the full set. And
Oh my
I would
goodness.
have been forced to pay full price eventually. I was like, you know what, I want the full Artemis set. I'm not just gonna like miss out on it. But
Did he have? I imagine he had pictures of the like boxes, and they all looked good enough. Maybe a little small dent here or there, but
yeah, I wasn't gonna press too much on where they came from or why he's selling them so cheap. 'Cause I didn't want to like ruin it.
yeah. Whew. Yeah, and kind of same thing for me. The dude with this Bionicle, he had it listed for $40 for the longest time, and no one was biting. So I was like, "What about 30? I'll buy it for 30. I've noticed it's been on for a while." I actually got it because it was where my wife is from, so I actually bought it my wedding weekend for $30. It's like a little present to myself.
So where do you typically find that you get the best deals? As opposed, do you find like walking around just happening upon one, or when you go and look on Facebook Marketplace?
Honestly, probably Walmart on average. However, and this goes into the what we're going to talk about, or basically our weekly pickups. So for a weekly pickup, I got a couple sets. Whoops, don't want to hide me. Let's see, window capture. So I picked up a couple of sets from Farm Fleet, which shout out to Joe. He's the guy with the information. He
Fleet. I never would have thought of that.
Fleet Farm, yep. Or Farm Fleet. Which one was it? Because there's two. You're from you're-ish, I'm sure you know that store.
Yeah. Oh, Farm and Fleet is a chain, but Fleet Farm is also a chain that's more Michigan and Wisconsin based.
Yep.
So if this was in Michigan, it was probably Fleet Farm, which is the orange logo with the two F's.
Correct. Yep. It was Fleet Farm. And they had a bunch of online sales or online and in-store sales for Lego. Once again, shout out to Joe for notifying the group of this information. And so I was able to get, of course, if you are on my Instagram story, you saw the slushy van for another Lego City set. It retails for $20. I got it for just under $12.
That was at Fleet Farm?
Correct. Online deal. And then I got the spider tank. Retail for $50. Do you have a guess on what I paid for this?
Oh, 43.
$31.99.
31?
$31.99.
That's a good deal.
I think, unfortunately, their deals are down until their next kind of end of October. So they do have it for $39.99. They don't have the additional deal until they resurface those deals in, when is it going to be? End of October. So in a couple weeks, maybe, for the Christmas and Black Friday type deals. I think they should resurface those. So if anyone in the chat wants to consider getting some good buys from Fleet Farm, that is certainly an option. And then the last set I got, I know I talked about it a little bit. Some people in the chat know which one it is. It's kind of a non-traditional set for me, but it's had a lot of buzz this year just because it's, I mean, objectively, it's a beautiful set. Like I said, kind of non-traditional for us, but just the overall architectural design is just beautiful. The part usage, the parts they have in here are also very nice. So I got this for, it's regularly an $80 set, got it for $58. So it's the Lego Friends Botanical Garden, and I know the flash is kind of not letting it work its way down. But I just love actually, let's go to the back. The architectural design of it. It kind of makes me think of like a Bricklink designer set.
You know what the that's a good, first of all, that's a good deal. And you know what this theme reminds me of? I'm not sure, like, are you familiar with Belleville? Lego Belleville?
Yes, I am.
Isn't Friends similar to Lego Belleville?
It's basically the Belleville walked, so Belleville and Scala crawled, so Friends could walk. Basically, yeah, because they couldn't.
Or Jack Stone.
They couldn't like figure out how can we still make a set lineup that's more geared towards girls that is successful. They tried it with Scala, they tried it with Belleville, didn't last very long. But Friends, I mean, what has Friends been going on for like 10 years at this point?
It's been a while. This theme's been pretty solid.
So, I mean, they finally struck gold with that one. And, I mean, I think I've talked about this before, is Lego does best when they can kind of keep the base of their product and still kind of have these ancillary items. So they kept the mini dolls. They didn't go to like literal dolls. So they kept kind of something similar to a minifigure with awesome builds, especially like this one, for instance. So I'm not going to go out and pick every Friend set out there, but I mean, this one has made a pretty big splash. Yeah, and this, I mean, let's see. Overall, if you include tax, I spent $106 for, and if I do the tax, it retail sets for $150. So if you basically $199 for $150 of sets, which I'm not going to complain about that at all. And that did include a $10 off sign up for our email chain thing. So that was another gimme to kind of cover taxes, a little bit of taxes, or most of taxes and then some. So keep an eye on Fleet Farm, everyone in the chat, if you're interested in picking up some potential deals in the future. Can't promise it. From what I've heard, Fleet Farm, Lego obviously is their bread and butter. They're not stocking this all the time, but they do have those deals from time to time.
You don't mind continuing this little rabbit trail for a second?
Yeah, no, let's go for it.
I don't know if they still do it, but in the past, it's been a year or two since I've gotten or seen or even been to the store, but I used to get good deals at Kohl's.
Yes. Yep, are you counting Kohl's cash in that deals?
Yes, because most of their deals come straight from Kohl's cash.
Yeah.
But even so, I've found that they have, at times had just discounts on Lego before. And similar to Fleet Farm, you never really know when you're gonna find Lego there, when they're gonna have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But from time to time, they've actually got a pretty decent selection.
Yep, and of course, Costco certainly has pretty good deals. Usually they hover around 20% off at a good starting point, or like 18% off if we want to get technical. So certainly there. And if anyone watched the ACOB podcast on Thursday night, the whole podcast was all about deals and discounts and things to look out coming up. So I don't want to rehash all that stuff. We're just basically talking about it because we're literally buying this right now. So yeah, Kohl's, certainly Costco. 2 more buys from me from Amazon. And based on streams in the past with Mrs. CPA building the Minecraft, these are just typical Amazon deals. I think one of them was $5 off, one of them was $10 off. So we've got the Fox Lodge, which I think is a very just cozy little set. Very fun. I do like the build of the fox, and of course you get a lot of fox minifigs, which is also very fun. This one was $15, regularly $20, so typical, whatever, 20% off discount. And then once again, keeping with the theme, we've got the little panda house, or what do they call it? The Panda Haven So once again, a little panda house build and then a bunch of mini pandas. So that'll make for a fun stream and kind of add it to the bee cottage, the fox, and then the panda haven. We did try and buy the pig house, regularly 50 for 40, and it got lost in the mail. So that was kind of unfortunate. Of course, we got a what's it called on that? A refund. So not too worried. But yeah, as far as buys, it was a nice little week for me for Lego. Getting a handful of stuff.
Are you gonna be doing a stream to build those Minecraft sets?
That will probably be the first one, probably early next week, I think is the plan. I don't think it should take too long to get through those. But yeah, I'm thinking early next week, maybe Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday. Little chill build there for sure. How about you? Are you building the Artemis inspired sets, or what's your plan with those?
I don't know if I'm going to be building the Artemis sets. And if the boxes are a little damaged, I might build them. Otherwise, it'll probably go on the shelf
Behind you.
Similar to the blacksmith and Barracuda back there. I don't know if those will ever be constructed.
Yeah, that's fair. I last night I did build like I said, the slushy van, and it was I kind of was half joking with my my reel that I created, basically saying that it's a speed champion, but the mechanisms in there were pretty slick, especially with the sliding door. I don't know, did you happen to watch the reel that I made?
I haven't seen that yet.
So basically, you know how in a typical ice cream or slushy van, the windows slide left and right to open and close? So they literally, they had that integrated into the build, and it wasn't like the studs were connected. It was in a, I don't know what the piece is called, but it was basically like a window tray, and it just slides.
A little raceway for the...
Is that what they call it? Or is that
Pretty
what
sure
you would
it's
call
called
it?
raceway. Yeah. I could be wrong.
So
But where does it go? Does it kind of loop around, or does it go out the back?
See, I know I should have grabbed it, but yeah. See, Scott knows what I mean. Where's the Speed Champion slushy van? I'll go upstairs and grab that. I knew I was gonna need it, but
that's an actual Speed Champion set.
Tell me, no, but I'd like to think it is. That was part of the meme.
Okay, I was like, what?
Squidman says Fleet Farm was mean to him because they didn't give you a free botanical garden. Well, that's not cool. You'll have to reach out to customer service. All right, I'll go grab the Speed Champion slushy van real quick.
Slushy van. I'm gonna pull a picture of this. Penguin slushy van. The logo is a slushy cup with... It's supposed to look like a little penguin. Oh, I see how it is. It's a backwards Lego City window piece, sliding on two cross-beam Technic
Get my ears
pieces.
back in.
Okay, that's not at all how I imagined what you were talking about. It's... I thought it was something totally different.
The slushy van?
No, that's not just that, but the way that the window slides back and forth.
Oh, yeah,
I was imagining something about 4 times more complicated than what this actually is. It's just the window piece on 2 crossbars.
Let's see. Yeah, just pretty simple. Yeah, no, I thought it was, yeah, like you said, simple, but just cleverly easy.
Yeah, like that's
like it makes perfect sense, but it's just clever, and I don't know. Like I wouldn't have thought to have an actively sliding window in a set like this. Let's see. So that, in addition with, of course, I've got the girl on top of the van. But honestly, the other half of the main reason I bought this is because I really like the giant cup on top. And I think at some point I'm gonna figure out how I can get Baby Yoda to hold on to this cup.
I love the extra piece storage.
I know
Good
that.
plug.
I realized that this morning. I was like, oh, that's. I mean, I knew it was gonna drop to like $12 at some point, being 20, and probably sitting on shelves for a while. So once I saw this, I was like, might as well. So I'll try and make some funny content with Baby Yoda holding the cup. So, I mean, it's just a fun little build, and like $12,
It's one of those ones that's like, yeah,
like,
it's a good deal.
and I gotta. Oh, and then this side door opens up, which is really nice to have access to the dude. It's like I gotta build up the pieces and sets, kind of the city sets, because I was thinking, back when I was a kid, we had, you've got all the car pieces, the window pieces, just to kind of build whatever you want, and then you gotta start building up that inventory for when the kids come along and need that Lego, put it in the bin. Exactly, Scott. Scott wants to get the slushy van. Lego's gonna be like, what happened to our slushy vans? They're all out of stock now. It's right here. That's right, guys. You heard it here first. Welcome to the stream, Delusion. Good to see you here. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see. I think that's all my buys, of course. It's not going to be the last. I'm going to keep an eye out for some discounts coming into the rest of the month and in November. See what Black Friday brings.
I think as well, I might end up, because of the next two sets on my list are Eldorado Fortress and the Technic Mars rover, and I want to spring for one or the two of them this week, because the gift with purchase for over $100 this week is the little pirate castaway. I forget what it's actually called. Little pirate set.
Yeah.
So
Which
I want to get that little.
I wonder why Lego. Why didn't Lego have that for the Eldorado Fortress? It kind of confuses me.
I know. So it's gonna have to be. I'm probably, now that you mentioned that, it's gonna have to be the Technic rover then I get.
Because that's the which, I mean, that's one of the ones at Costco. It's like $82 or something like that. It's cheaper at Costco, but I mean, yeah, if you need to get that gift with purchase, you got to spend the money at Lego. Yeah. That's how it be.
Trying to push those points up as well.
True. Speaking of Lego.com, did you happen to see all those deals that were going on?
I did.
Did you?
That stretched in from last week.
Which I was really surprised about partially surprised about some of the Star Wars sets, of course, which at this point, let me confirm if there's been any updates or re-updates in stock. Please hold. The Republic gunship is on back order and the Razor Crest is on back order. Of course, the Razor Crest was what, like 400, give or take? So about $200 off. And then the gunship was $270, so about $130 off.
Yeah,
give or take.
I was amazed. I was amazed by that Razor Crest discount. That's crazy.
It was tempting. It was hard to say no, but I don't know. I know it's a beautiful build. It's a beautiful set, but how do you feel about it?
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it with already having the smaller Lego Crest, like Razor Crest behind me there. Spending the $200+ just to get a bigger, nicer one. I just couldn't rationalize that.
Squidman could rationalize that. He bought the Razor Crest for that price, and that's true. It was also the double VIP or double insider points weekend or week or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it was like whatever percentage off, 30, 20% off plus an additional 10% off or ish because of the double insider points. So literally a perfect storm for anyone that wanted the Razor Crest or the gunship. I think Jake, he said he got the gunship, right? For that price? I thought he did.
I think he said he intended to. I don't remember if I got confirmation that he actually did or not. I'll have to check with him.
Yeah, because that
But
was...
I know he intended to.
Yeah, that was like that ran out quick. I think it lasted maybe 24 hours would probably be a stretch, but that would just be my kind of initial guess because of all the... Basically, once it was daytime in every time zone for the first time, it probably was gone once people realized the time zones. So, who is Jake? Jake is actually, he's from State Farm. So, that's all you need to know.
We stay close with Jake because he insures the channel.
So if any of you get us canceled, just know that we're insured, and any lost revenue is recovered through State Farm. So each time we don't get super chats, actually, we actually get refunded from State Farm. It's great. I definitely don't pay more in insurance premiums than I get back from super chats. So it works out. Okay, let me find kind of the bread and butter, or we'll call it the title of the of the podcast.
Right.
We'll start out with that. So as the title would suggest, I say, does Lego care about recycling? And of course it's clickbaity, blah blah blah. Yes, I know. But
how much?
It makes you wonder how much do they care about recycling? Because, and of course we know they care about recycling. They have a program, or they had an initiative in place to talk about, or to have less plastic in their products, which is maybe a little ironic, but it's mainly with the getting rid of the bags and doing the paper bags. I imagine you've heard of that initiative.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So I know you said you've done a fair amount of research into this, but
a little bit.
Kind of how I understand it, and you can kind of fill in the gaps for
me.
So as I understand it, you've got Lego, which is, multinational corporation. They're probably constantly looking for ways to not only just reduce their carbon footprint for environmental or tax reasons, but they're also looking to cut costs and find a more streamlined way of doing things. So their plan here was to use recycled plastic bottles, again, like I said, paper bags, to achieve many or all of these goals.
Yeah, pretty much exactly that. And I believe more or less what every company wants. I would say every company wants to be respectful, or every company desires to be stewards, for the most part, of the earth, of what we have here, just to, not be wasting energy, wasting blah blah blah, wasting all that. So like any good company, not wanting to do all that, and of course being a huge producer of plastic, finding ways to create less plastic, because obviously, from my understanding of plastic, once you create it, it's literally never going to go away. You can grind it up into little pieces. Well, guess what? It's still plastic. You can burn it down. Guess what? It's still plastic. As of now, I don't think we know a way to degrade plastic. I think I saw some, and it was one of those, Facebook articles. Genius college student discovers microbacteria that eats plastic, and I feel like it would have been a little bit more popular or known if it actually worked. So I feel like it probably didn't work, but I'm kind of curious, how much plastic does Lego produce?
a good amount?
Lego uses 100,000 tons of plastic in its product each year. Of course, I don't think
Now,
that's how much they produce.
yeah, because we have to take into account the cycle of life that Lego has tried to create with its pieces, right? A large, well, I don't know exactly the number or percentage for how many actually participate in this or how much they actually get back, but the recycling in itself is when you go to get rid of pieces, in an insane world where you would want to get rid of your Lego. I don't
Yeah,
know who's actually out there doing that.
exactly.
You you ship it to them. You just ship it to them in UPS, and they'll in some Toy Story nightmare scenario, they melt it all down and make more pieces out of it, and that becomes a percentage of their plastic intake. So in theory, it's kind of reduced slightly in that manner, but I don't know what the actual numbers on that are. So when I don't, does that take into account for pieces that have or plastic intake that's come back that's already gone out again?
It might. So in that 100,000 tons, I would say yes, that's included in there because it says Lego uses 100,000 tons. Now it does say, according to BBC, reports that about 80% of the, oh no, that's just 80% contains ABS plastic made from crude oil. So that's not really helpful. Each year, more than 380 million metric tons of plastic is produced worldwide. Lego is responsible for 100,000 metric tons of it. That's
Rookie
absurd.
numbers.
They're a third of the worldwide plastic production. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but like,
Yeah, it's a lot.
you've got companies producing, like, that just doesn't pass the smell test for me. It could obviously very well be correct, but so with all respect, Lego should be figuring out ways to be more environmentally friendly, being good stewards with the information that we have now. So obviously they're not going to come up with something overnight. I wouldn't expect them to, but and I don't know if you're aware of this, but did we just get new news? What's that?
I said, you're referring to, their, change of direction as far as the bottle.
Correct.
Bottles.
Yeah, I was going to completely switch gears to some leaks, but
okay. I thought you were saying there's some.
We've got
news.
News. They've cracked the code with the plastic, and
I was like, I'm pretty sure they did, but let's hear it.
And Scott, that's a good question. I don't know when some sets have gotten bags instead of, or paper bags instead of plastic bags. Some of them have, which is really interesting. But
I haven't gotten one yet.
I haven't either. And if you have in chat, please let me know. But as you can see at the title here, Yahoo has stated, Lego ditches plan to make bricks from recycled plastic water bottles for surprising reason. It was disappointing. Of course, that doesn't cover the main reason why it was disappointed. There's clickbaity as we are, I guess.
I think the title is deliberately making it look like Lego no longer cares about the plastic bottle initiative and the environment. So you'll click on it in a rage and then be like, reading.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
100%.
Now I know the real reason. Yeah.
So basically, the real reason is, and they publicized this initiative, I believe it was a year or two ago. And the reason why they are abandoning this initiative is because it actually takes more carbon footprint to create bricks from recycled plastic water bottles than just to create it from crude oil, like they traditionally do.
Correct.
And I can only imagine that it's more expensive too. I would probably be crazy to say that it's not more expensive, but my money is that it is much more expensive.
If you think about it, fully think about it, it is 100% going to be more expensive, considering all that they'd have to do. They'd have to create an entire new infrastructure, from transportation to
Oh, yeah.
manufacturing, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you that transporting oil-based plastic and transporting bottles back and forth.
Like, do I have a brick handy? Here, let's just use a brick separator. How many pounds of these do you think I could get on one truck versus, and I'll just use a can because that's what I've got, versus how many
Exactly.
pounds of these? Now, obviously there's different ways you could certainly streamline that process, like melting it down at the source as opposed to Lego transporting full bottles to wherever their plant is, or but then of course then you're chucking more money into the engineering and inventing process of this scenario here, and it's money and time is going somewhere. And
Yeah. Every process of this is contributing to the exact thing they're trying to avoid. Like, and if I gotta take out, I'm by no means a Lego engineer. I can't tell you the exact process that all this goes through. But you've got this like whole industry full of devices and machines that melt down the oil-based plastic. Now you got to take all that out, put in
true.
full new infrastructure that can process the polyethylene plastic, and yeah, you got to like find a new place for that stuff, get this stuff up and going, transport it all back and
Because you
forth.
probably can't mix if you mix the two plastics, they probably would
Exactly.
malform or
Yeah. And so at the end of
disform
the
in
day,
yeah.
yeah. So at the end of the day, they're looking at their numbers like, well, sure, it's a great idea to start using plastic bottles, but we have done more damage in the end by the time we got it all set up that it's really like better for us to just not do that. Find a new idea later on.
Exactly. Thanks for stopping by, Dave Bricks. Good day. Hope you're doing well. Early in the morning for you. About 5 in the morning. Thanks for stopping by to the CPA-fol podcast. Tyler from LifeBrick says Lego needs to recycle every Super Mario set on shelves right now and use those to make the new ATOT with dropship.
No. I wouldn't agree with that fully. A lot of those aren't the best design, but Bowser is pretty good set.
The big $100, $200 one. Yeah.
That's a really good set and very well designed. I mean, so gotta give him a little bit of credit.
Yeah. I would agree with that one. But have you heard the latest rumor that Mario minifigs are finally supposed to come next year?
Next
Did you know
year?
that?
Okay.
Yeah.
I had briefly read that they were coming, but I assumed they were going to compare it with Mario Wonder that came out this past week.
Ah, okay. And of course, Tyler says he wants his Lego made from grass.
Hey, I got good news. You can start attempting that right now. Just go back out.
And you'll be ahead of Lego.
Get some clippings.
Oh my goodness. But and even just thinking about the whole process that has to change, like if you have burners or melters that are melting the ABS plastic, I can just on a gut check, I would imagine you would need a higher heat than melting down the water bottles. So
exactly.
Is it as simple as just turning down the heat on your oven, or do you have to have new and cross-contamination? So just thinking with car manufacturers or different clients of mine, that whenever you're changing over to a new of any sort of product, you have to scrub, you have to clean. There's downtime because you're not producing anything anymore. People are sitting around.
Breaking Bad?
Is that when they change to a new product or something and they have to?
I just know that they got to scrub the containers out like every single time. That's how I imagined when you were talking about scrubbing the smelters,
scrubbing the tubes. So yeah, I mean, there's all that, and even what you brought up with depending on where the melting's going on, you've got huge, no doubt, diesel trucks that are transporting this stuff back and forth. If they have to make 10 trips to get the same amount of weight for ABS plastic, then that normally takes one. How much more carbon emission is going out into the air at that point? So
and more fuel trucks coming in, more fuel.
It certainly adds up.
It adds up.
Wow, that's a good point. Tyler says for Lego's 100th anniversary, they need to make every set from straight wood that year, which actually, their 100th year anniversary is coming up. I think, I think it was like 1929 or something.
Aren't they planning on it?
Oh, no, it's 1932. So we've got some time.
We got some time. It's Disney that's having special Lego sets for
100. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. That's
100th year.
I thought I'd read something, and that's what it was.
Mm-hmm. Which, who knows how long they'll milk that for? It could be the Disney 100th for a couple years.
Yeah.
But hey, I don't mind that. So
they'll carry that into the 125, and they'll be like, 125 now. Special sets.
So let's see what this. I don't think this is, or this is news for the month. This isn't necessarily news for the day, even though Yahoo just posted it a couple days ago. But I didn't entirely read most of this article. I just kind of knew. I'd read another article a couple weeks ago that my dad actually sent me. And so we can look into some numbers here. As you know, I'm certainly a numbers guy. It looks like in 2015, starting right here, Lego invested roughly $150 million into a sustainable material center. So they've been really going at this for, like 8 years at this point, as they're planning to move away from essentially ABS plastic by 2030.
And you got to give them, credit here where credit's due, where they're looking ahead of themselves. Not only were they trying to, some could say, well, they just saw everything that was happening with oil during COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
They saw the dangers there. Now they're looking ahead, projecting for a company's sake. Okay, what if this was to happen again? We need an alternative option to oil, right? So there's that, to be fair, but also they're looking to reduce the carbon footprint and better the environment before eyes are on them for using so much.
Yeah.
They're being very proactive about this.
Yeah, and I know and for those of you who are international, I think Dave, we have in America, for better for worse, and however it takes to get there. Did Biden say by 2030, or was it something like 2025? He wants no new non-EV or non-electric vehicles produced or sold or something like that. I don't know if you're more familiar with that than I clearly am not.
By 2030?
It was something like that, where he wants, or the administration wants all EVs on the road by 2030 or something like that, which of course is, and even if another president came in and said the opposite, I want only oil vehicles on the road, which would obviously be a ridiculous thing to say. Like no one, I don't even know how you police that other than just pulling people over and seizing vehicles.
I think, electric vehicles, not to go off on a huge rabbit trail, but I think electric vehicles being on the road is something that's just a fact. It's going to happen in the future. It's just a matter of when that happens.
Are you saying only electric vehicles?
At some point, probably, and I'm not saying anytime soon. I'm saying, I think 2030 is a bit ambitious for that to happen.
I would agree with that, and because I just bought a car.
Yeah.
End of last year, 2022, 8 years. That car can last 20 years. That car could last 30 years. So
I think we're looking more like 50 or 60 years before electric vehicles are just everywhere.
Yeah. Because the infrastructure alone, I've gotten emails during peak electric times of the year. So either peak electric or cold. So there was a real big cold snap at Christmas last year, and over the weekend the power company sent out emails saying basically, don't run your washer, turn your heat down to like upper 60s, don't keep it at 75, 78, whatever some crazy people keep it at. Don't run your dishwasher, basically don't run any appliance, please, pleading all of us to do that. And because of the surges of energy and the cold weather, which is also, and we're on a huge tangent, but I don't really care. So
I see
it
what you're
all gets
saying.
back to Lego. Like it all, yeah, it's.
I see what you're saying, because that would require a huge drain on the grid. Like if everyone was like, all right, let's all have electric vehicles, and then we're all plugging them in everything now. Like that's some incredible infrastructure you have to prepare for that to happen. And we're not there. We are not there.
I don't think we're there quite yet. Welcome to the stream, Purple Stud. Glad to see. You might be a new face. I don't recognize you before. Maybe you've just been a silent watcher. I'm sure we've got a couple of those, but thanks for stopping by. I'll wave right back at you. We're talking about. We're staying on topic. Talking about Lego with their recycling initiatives, trying to use plastic water bottles and change them into Lego bricks, which I did watch a video that came out about a year ago, and apparently some Lego sets are actually already using these bricks, and I believe that was a year ago. So most of the green foliage is actually created with these plastic water bottle pieces because they're a little softer, evidently, and they kind of have that ability to be used for those kind of foliage pieces and leafy greens or whatever. So I mean, some of these are already in production, but as we've seen here, they are a bit more expensive and a bit more carbon intensive to produce. So let's see if this article has anything else that can point to maybe something that's being done for the future. Obviously, they're going to be trying other things. Let's see. Okay, so they want to, as we continue to read, LEGO is also committed to reducing harmful pollution emissions by 37% by 2032, which is their 100th year anniversary. And plans to use solar power, a type of clean energy, to fuel several new factories, according to the New York Post.
It still says we utilize water bottles and straws.
It's a few simple everyday choices that can reduce some plastic, make its way into our environment. Well, I was kind of expecting a little more than that. Let's see if any comments are. Where's the comments? Or are those comments? Apparently, I don't know how to use Yahoo.
I think you just scrolled it to a completely different story.
Oh, I think I have to click view comments. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Let's see if they load. I want to see what the people are saying. I'm glad they at least acknowledged the backtrack. Yeah, for sure. I use my plastic bags 2 times, at least sometimes 3 to 4. I don't know why in the world people call them single-use bags. Okay, well that's not. Yeah, nothing to, Oh, shout out Lego Bionicle. Heck yeah. He said recycled plastics tend to have a lower grade purity than the new plastic pellets that Lego uses to make its bricks. Lego is subject to high mechanical material stress. Historically, Lego has been faced with mitigating material failures with brown Lego bricks, green bamboo Lego, and Lego Bionicle ball sockets and joints. That?
So, with your Bionicle?
Yes, in a way. It's not actually the. Yeah, okay. He did say it correctly. It's not the ball joint. It's the ball socket. So the little, basically the fins, those get stressed over time because they literally have to flex for the ball to fit inside of the joint or inside of the socket.
Not during you're pulling it in and out, right?
Correct.
Not when it's moving around. Okay.
Correct. Yep. Just when you have to snap it into place, it can. It puts that stress on there, and the newer ones, of course, snap. The older ones, basically the old ones, are solid. 2001 to 2003, 4. Those ones likely aren't going anywhere. It was when they clearly changed their plastic composition a couple years in, maybe like 09, 07. And they just became a lot more weaker plastic, probably in an effort for Lego to use less plastic, which is completely understandable. Using less plastic, of course, to be more environmentally friendly and better stewards of the environment, most certainly.
Yep.
So if anyone in chat has any thoughts on or bright ideas of how Lego can use less plastic or a more, what's the word, reusable, recyclable way to create plastic, hey, $1 million idea, $1 billion idea could be on the way. I'm sure someone's got it. It's just got to get out there. But there's a couple other Lego news pieces that I thought was interesting. Let me find some. So if you search Lego, and I'll pull it up real quick. If you search Lego news robbery, you actually get a handful of results, which kind of surprised me.
I imagine these are local to you.
No, they're not.
Oh, okay, nice.
Like Gastonia, North Carolina. Too good to be true. Stores in Gastonia, Hickory fall victim to trend of stolen Lego sets. I thought this was kind of interesting.
It's got to be more of a trend than usual. I mean, Lego's pretty universally known to be a higher value and something you can grab real quick and run out the door with.
I agree. It was just
so
like I had no idea. Like we've got 1 day ago, 1 day ago, 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks, a ton. Then a month ago, man arrested stealing over 7,000 worth of Legos from Valley Target stores in Las Vegas. It's just kind of, I'm not really surprised, but I just thought it was interesting. Like, I don't know if this is, like you said, is this new? Can't be new.
To me, in my opinion, is this man, he looks like just a very passionate fan, and it was a crime of passion. He really needed the sets.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure he was intending on paying. It wasn't first degree, maybe second degree. Second degree Lego theft.
So I imagine in reality, it's the ease of which people like me and you are willing to pay a little bit less for Lego pretty fast. So it's considered to be a fairly quick buck.
Exactly. I mean, and as much as we may not like to admit it, some of the good deals on Facebook Marketplace may be coming from things like this, which is very unfortunate. Obviously, we like to...
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that. It's possible.
Stay none the wiser, for better or for worse, but...
I believe the best in people.
Hey, they're getting a good deal, right? No matter what.
Yeah.
Let's see what... according to the arrest report, he was accompanied by an unidentified Hispanic white female adult, with police detailing the thefts as clearly pre-planned and were committed within minutes of entering the store. So maybe this was first degree. Little first degree Lego theft. Let's see what he got away with.
Then I'm curious. I wonder what the sentence for stealing Lego is, or is it? Obviously, it's probably by the dollar amount you stole. But
items stolen range from Star Wars, obviously, to Indiana Jones sets worth over 100 each. So when was this? September 21st. So he probably got a little shin hotty.
They got 32 in one go. 32 sets in one go.
I feel like it wasn't in one go. It probably was. It wasn't in one go, but it was in Van Gogh. I'll be here all day, folks. I'll be here all day.
So then the issue here is that they went back for more after being observed stealing Lego at the store.
Let's see. Records show Horvatich had previously been arrested for stealing a vehicle, robbery, drug use, and more. Okay, interesting. So he is Clearly, stealing a vehicle and drug use is a gateway to stealing Lego. I think that's really the main lesson we can learn here. Kids, don't steal Lego, or don't do drugs or steal cars, because it's a gateway to stealing Lego. And imagine how many kids are going to be oh dear. Ad. Imagine how many kids are going to be missing these sets for their birthday or Christmas. It's really sad.
$25,000.
That was his bail, right?
Yeah, as opposed to the $7,000 he stole, but probably didn't get a chance to sell.
Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any more. Okay, investigators later found that Horvatich was involved in 13 other theft events from July 25th through September 11th. So he went there and back 13 times. I think he stole 32 sets over the course of 13 trips. So he's he and his accomplice are doing some real damage here, and that's it's not cool, kids. Don't steal Lego.
Do it.
You cut out and it sounds like you said do it.
Don't do it. But if you do it, make sure you send me the good deals on Facebook.
For legal reasons, that was a joke. I'll say it. What else? Separate incidents. Newburgh Park Lego theft, Fillmore robbery, and egging. Okay. Father. Oh, here the across the pond is is not impervious to this as well. Man, they've got all the ads at the Irish Examiner. Father of 9. Wow, father of 9 jailed for stealing 1,000. This guy clearly didn't get as much. He didn't get his money's worth of Lego from Cork Toy Shop. Let's see what kind of stuff he grabbed.
Either he grabbed one really good item, just hoping for the best.
Here we go. 51.
4 large sets. 4. He grabbed 4 worth $1,200.
Where's was it at the bottom?
It's right there. Right where it says $1,240. Value $1,240.
Oh, 4 large sets. So they were like,
Yep.
what, $200 sets? Maybe a couple UCS
Yeah.
Star Wars sets. Hang on. He was oh no. He was highly intoxicated. He had no reasonable excuse or rational explanation for taking these items.
I'm telling you, these are just crimes. These are crimes of passion.
Sir, the defendant had 176 previous convictions, including counts for burglary, making off without paying for service, and 17 counts of theft. 6 months. 6 months in jail.
I love how they say had no reasonable excuse or rationale. Like, what is considered a reasonable excuse or rationale for making off with Lego and not paying?
Your Honor, I just needed it.
You don't understand.
I desperately
There's a
needed it.
rational reason.
It's for one of my 9 kids. They
Yeah.
need it. They all need something. That's also kind of funny. At the conclusion of the court video, he says, "Thank you, judge. Thank you, solicitor."
Is that a across the pond term?
Yeah, it's an attorney, I think, is what they
okay.
call their solicitors. Okay. I believe. Yeah. Or a lawyer. Thank you, lawyer. The theft of the Lego was detected and the stolen property was recovered by security staff just outside the premises on the day of the offense. This does not sound pre-planned or very well pre-planned anyways. How did this show up for Lego? Torched? What? No. How could this individual do something? Gambler's $21,000 Lego theft ends in arson attack. This might be the most interesting one. Hey,
That's a lot to get in.
Dave, if you're here, you have to let us know if you heard of this one. This is in your neck of the woods. I don't know how close you are to Brisbane, but a self-confessed gambling addict stole $21,000 worth of Lego bricks. So just bricks, I'm wondering, before dousing the building in gasoline. Oh my goodness.
I find it hard to believe it's $21,000 of bricks alone. That's hard to.
Well, how many like $200 sets is that? Let's see. Plus, you have to remember that this is in Australia and the conversion isn't as good. So, like, they're 200.
Oh, wait. Look at the little sentence underneath the picture.
Yeah. She admitted to torching the Lego store to cover up her theft of the Danish building bricks plus $60K in cash from the outlet. So 21,000, that's like their average. Their $200 set is probably like $280, if I had to guess. So that's 75 sets. That's a little bit more reasonable to mentally think, to mentally digest. Richards caused more than $70K in damage to the store and adjacent outlets when she torched the joint. That's a funny way of phrasing that.
A jerry can of gasoline.
Back to work, the 36-year-old snuck into the store on the morning of August 19, 2020, before it was open for the day. According to court filings, she was disguised in a beanie hat and carried a green bag containing a jerry can of gasoline, 2 bottles of kerosene, spray bottles, and matches. Petrol from jerry and sprayed the cage, lit the boxes on fire, and left. That is crazy. Oh my goodness, she went all out. Look at this, drastic measures. When senior management caught wind of the financial anomalies, she produced bogus emails from the bank blaming discrepancies on broken teller machines. When that failed to quell suspicion, Richards took drastic measures. So she was stealing from the store, and then senior management.
There.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
She was going to burn down her old place of employment to cover this up.
It's dedication. That's insanity. So she embezzled around $60,000 of cash from sales. Okay, well that's a control. Why is she depositing money into the bank? Shouldn't? I guess they have to hold cash on hand at some point. Yeah.
It's probably what got her thinking about this to begin with. Like, oh, there's some overlap of,
internal controls
here, and I've got this window where I'm not really. She probably thought she had a little bit of more freedom than she had, and wasn't being as watched or something.
And whoever was doing the monthly bank recs realized, what the register said we received isn't getting to our bank account. I wonder.
Did they hire?
What's going on?
They hire the Lego CPA to do an audit. Is that what happened here?
I am not at liberty to say, as this is clearly an ongoing investigation. So once the investigation is closed. Okay, so yeah, no, she did steal 40 Lego boxes of $60,000.
But she didn't take the cash. I don't know what happened to that, man. The cash
no,
is
it
just
was
gone.
Both. 40 Lego boxes and $60,000 in cash. That's actually fascinating. And she did plea guilty. On Wednesday, she blamed the most recent theft on her gambling addiction, adding that she has since repaid some of the money, but the court heard $10,000 remains outstanding. Richards pleaded guilty to charges of fraud by an employee of $30K or more, endangering property by fire, entering premises with intent to commit an indictable offense, and stealing by clerk or servant. Sentencing was adjourned.
Do you think she lost her job, or do you think she's safe?
I mean, in this environment, hey, they might just give her they might write her up and then say, see you at work on Monday. Oh my word, that is crazy.
That's unfortunate. Whatever.
That was earlier. That was like like 2 weeks ago.
What happened to the guy who drove into the Bricklink store?
Ah, or the bricks and minifigs.
Or was it Bricks and Minifigs? That's right,
Uh-huh.
Bricks and Minifigures.
Let's find out. I don't think anything has come up yet.
I don't. Last I heard, he just left his van and ran off,
Oh yeah.
and they hadn't found him yet. But I hadn't followed up on that story at all.
Let's
That was a wild. That
see.
was a wild one.
Yeah, it's actually kind of. I was in Grand Rapids. That was during Brick World Grand Rapids, so I was there for that.
Was Bricks and Minifigs at the
Grand
convention when this
Rapids.
happened? Well,
It.
maybe not. It would have been at night, but like
Yep.
over that, yeah.
It happened late Friday night, early Saturday morning. Probably. I think it was like 2 a.m. Saturday morning. So yeah, I was there Friday night. I was actually probably awake when it happened because we were all hanging out
Right.
at Firebird Brick's house, and let's see. I'm not sharing that screen yet. We'll see if this article has any updated news. I doubt it, but yeah, and actually no, someone was in the back of the store
Okay.
when it happened around 12:50. Someone was in the store, which is kind of scary. I boarded myself against the door, just not really sure what's happening, and waited until I heard fire and them arrive, and then I came out. Okay. So this person, whoever was there, Warner, didn't leave their back office in which they were.
Why? Wise move.
Yeah, because
Wise move.
you don't know if someone's
Yeah, you don't
running
want to.
around with guns or whatever.
You don't want to spook somebody that's burglarizing you because they could do anything crazy.
Yep. They were going about 50 miles an hour and caused a lot of destruction to the store. Oh, the building has been crashed into before because it's really close. I believe it's really close to a big intersection. So really anything can happen, and that's really
Yeah,
sad.
I'm sure there's more that goes into that situation, but I still find it hard to believe that you accidentally drive straight into a store frontage.
Let's see. And I believe they are planning to put up giant metal poles. So if someone were to hop the curb, they wouldn't be able to crash into the front. I think they're going to put, if I recall, they'll either put the giant cement blocks or rebar in front of the door and then in front of the parking lot. So they really can't
Why don't
even hop the curb.
why don't they just build it out of Lego? They got plenty of pieces in there. They just build these giant pillars and
Oh my
stoppers.
goodness. Oh yeah. Oh hey, we've got Pascal Koenig. Greetings from Germany. Found your Owl City concert video within this moment. Thanks for capturing the magic for all of us. Absolutely. I and Brickotomy as well were both huge Owl City fans. Fortunately, I was able to go to two. And your brother was just at the one in Chicago. Is he already
Yeah,
back?
he was.
Is he back from that?
No, he's still up there visiting family, but he'll be back later in the week. Yeah, he got to go to the one in Chicago. I'm jealous. I'll make it to one eventually. But yeah, I'm definitely envious that you've been to two now in such quick succession.
Oh my! Yeah, I was at the beginning of his tour and at the end of his tour, and it's kind of funny to see because his first concert was his first concert in 5 years, and if anyone doesn't know him, he's kind of a shy dude, quiet guy, and so I can only imagine he was quite nervous for his first concert, and he kind of, I know you could tell he had a script of what he would say or wouldn't say, and he kind of kept to that. But by, I think I was at his third to last concert, he was, very, and I'd seen videos, but he was pretty talkative and just felt a lot more comfortable. And at one point during the concert, while I was recording, I yelled, and I'm sure Pascal, if you've watched the whole concert, at this point, but I yelled, "Love you, Adam!" And I couldn't tell if he was either like uncomfortable or what, but he kind of like covered his face a little bit and mouthed "Love you guys" or something like that. So it was pretty funny because I was more or less right up front. I had a pretty darn good seat, which I was
That's awesome.
or spot to stand in, which I was very grateful for. So yeah, and the first one that I recorded, I don't know which one you saw, Pascal. If you saw the Detroit one, that was the first concert. The Grand Rapids one is a lot better of a video. So check out that one if you only saw one. Or if you just want to see two full concerts, check out the Detroit one. And it's just, a little different experience, some nuances in the music and just how he played it and whatnot. So check out both of them if you're up for it. But yeah, no, I definitely recorded the first one just like, you go to a concert most of the time, pretty much everyone, you're either going to take pictures or take video. And so I started taking video, and then I was going to stop at one point, but then I was thinking, well, I could miss something. He could do something clever that I would want to get on video and would kick myself if I didn't get.
Yeah.
So I just like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll keep recording when it kind of gets slow, and it just never got slow. So and then I knew, of course, international people like yourself. As of today, there are no international tour dates announced. So I do feel sorry for you all across the pond that you won't be able to see him live. So that video is for you until he announces those tour dates, which I hope, if he's able to, of course, it's a huge expense. I can only imagine to have an international tour. But he never came to Florida, though.
Yeah, I hope he does, because then that'll be much easier for me to get out and see him. Obviously.
He only went to Atlanta. That was as far south as he went. And of course Houston, which might be further south than Atlanta, but in that region, he only went to Atlanta.
Yeah.
So I feel like he could have gotten a huge tour or a huge crowd in, I don't know, Orlando or something like
Oh
that.
yeah, Orlando, Miami. Yeah, he could have gotten.
Yeah.
I found that truthfully, I think a lot of concerts happen in Miami,
Uh,
just because the dense population that's
yeah.
there. But
Which I mean, that
Orlando would have
is,
been nice.
yeah, that is very. What's the word?
Spring break. Spring breaky, like that's where everyone goes there for like
Yeah,
huge events.
and it's also like from Atlanta, very far south out of the way, or quote unquote out
Yeah,
of the way. Whereas
yeah.
I couldn't quite figure out his thought process on like locations, because he started in Detroit, ended in Minneapolis, but which I mean, it was pretty sequential, but he did kind of overlap areas twice, which was interesting. But I'm sure he had a plan. So, but no, it was definitely a moment to remember, and I will definitely cherish those videos for as long as I live. Also, they're the reason I'm currently monetized, so I was also very grateful for that. The first one,
That's awesome.
getting me those watch times, those hours, as they can be quite difficult to get. So let's see. Well, as far as other Lego news, we'll definitely keep you all in the know if any updates come with that Lego recycling program. If I come up with a great idea, I'll be sure to let everyone know. I'm sure same as you.
I mean, that no surprise is mine, man.
What are there's of course, we're going to talk about Bricklink Designer Program November, end of November. We'll of course have some great updates from Bricotomy's buy with the Artemis program. I plan on building mine, so at the very least, those two bottom ones, we can both, or I can
Oh yeah,
share the
that's
looks with
absolutely.
you on that one. I'll probably have a nice little stream on that eventually. I'm not rushing to build that one by any means, but I mean, we could talk Avengers Tower. Is that something that's on your list of things to eventually
I
look at, or
saw
do you care?
I did read a short snippet on Venator's Tower the other day. I don't know if that's one I would personally buy, but I'm surprised they hadn't done it sooner.
Yeah, I'm as well. Oh, I actually didn't see that. Oh, never mind. The $72 Avengers Tower. I actually didn't even really know they did that.
Oh, when was that?
Set number 76166. I have to look it up myself because I really have no idea. $2020. How did I miss that one?
I wasn't super actively buying in 2020, so that's probably
Hmm.
why I missed that one.
I would have seen it
But
on shelves.
yeah, this is a pretty 500 pieces. It's pretty small.
Oh yeah, no, 100% is small. I just didn't know they actually already had one. Play
Entire
scale,
product.
of course. But yeah, I mean, everyone was hype on it, and as soon as I saw the leak pictures, I was like, "Yep, it's a tower. It's Avengers Tower." Like it was nothing amazing. Like yeah, it's Avengers Tower. I don't know what everyone expected it to be, so that's kind of where I was at with it. Um,
So, was there two? Was there actually two Avengers Towers?
let's check brick economy.
So you're looking at 76166, right?
Yes, that's the old one. There's a new Avengers Tower, the UCS Avengers Tower.
Yeah, but I'm 76038 is another one. That's the one I was just looking at. We were looking at two different ones.
Oh snap!
This one's even smaller. This one's even smaller.
Oh wow, yeah, that is very small. The one I was looking at was taller.
Yeah, it was like a little more to scale for the minifigures, anyways,
Yeah.
and it was a great deal more pieces.
Oh, that's like Avengers 1 Avengers Tower. Interesting.
Yeah.
I think that would be my guess. No, it's from Ultron. Wow.
Yep, it's Ultron. Yes.
Nice. Yeah, Marvel is definitely not on the top of my list of Lego products anyways. So, I would
Same.
just as soon as buy a Lego City set than a
I
Marvel.
share that feeling.
Other than the Marvel CMF, of course. I'm a sucker for Marvel CMF. Very obviously. So, it's hard to say no to those. But
Also, we don't want to. How much have you read up on the Lord of the Rings news from this week or the leak?
I think I just saw that they're doing the the Sauron, the Eye of Sauron. Is that what
Yeah.
they're doing? That tower? I
Yep.
forget what it's called,
Yep.
but
Baldur's Gate or something like that.
Baldur's Gate.
There's some Lord of the Rings fan is going to destroy me in the comments, but yeah, it's the Eye of Sauron's tower.
Oh, did they already make one? Tower of Orthon? Oh no, that's like the Saruman Tower. They made one a while ago. Did you know that?
The two towers tower, right? Not the Eye of Sauron's tower.
Correct.
Okay, yeah,
The
I
t-
did think that was
it's called the Tower of Orthonk, and it has an Ent in it as well. That's actually really cool. It was $200, but I had
huh,
no idea that existed.
that would have been yeah, that is not nearly well. It looks good, but
Oh
the
yeah.
newest leak one looks very impressive. If the render and leak I saw
Do
is
you
indeed what it's
have
like.
a piece count or price point in the leak?
I think I thought I had like again. I thought it was more than 4,000 pieces. There's gonna be more than
Ooh,
4,000 pieces.
wow.
But that I don't know how accurate that is
Yeah.
because that was just based off of the Reddit thread I was reading.
All right, I'm glad we brought up leaks because I'm going to, okay, well, that might work. I'm going to change some things up. We're going to change some things.
Because I think this set doesn't just come with the Eye of Sauron, it also comes with with the Black Gate, some of the Black Gate as well.
There we go. I'm gonna fix some of this stuff. So, and I bring this up because what on earth is going on?
I'm going to send you what I'm reading here.
Gotta fix this up.
4,000 pieces, 399.99.
This is what happens when I try and edit the stream live.
Oh, gotcha.
Why is it locking it? That's weird. Interesting. What if I do a little bit of this? Okay, that's good enough for me for now. I'll fix it later. But I'm just doing this so I can go in Discord in a different window. Oh, it doesn't like when I do that. So we have a couple of leaks for these are from Joe again. Copy link. Joe with the info. My man Joe. If my computer would coherently work. And if Mrs. CPA was watching, she would be very glad for this leak, and that's why I can confidently share them, because I know she's not watching.
Minecraft or Shrek or something?
No, some Stitch.
Stitch.
So a couple of leaks. Encanto, whatever. I'm sure someone likes it, but all right, I know someone likes it. It's just not for us too, so I'm not gonna focus on that too much. But let me share the old screen. We'll get there eventually, guys and gals in chat. The first one, a Lego Technic Kawasaki Ninja H2R motorcycle, 643 pieces for $79.99.
That, I'm gonna lean in here for a second, like try to get a closer look at this, but that render.
So that's an actual motorcycle.
Okay, I was like, are my eyes deceiving me, or is that not? I was like, that's an immaculate Lego set.
Yeah, no, these are all. They just looked up the motorcycle.
I could see that being a really good looking Technic set.
So of course we do, and that's actually an all black one. It's, they could do whatever color they want, honestly. But yeah, no, it's gonna be. Oh well, it looks like she's in chat, so we have to skip that portion until she leaves. So, Lego Technic set. I'm sure have you seen the Ducati, the $70 or I think it was $60 Ducati build? Yeah, so it'll probably be similar to that, I imagine. I'll wait till it drops to like 50 at least before I consider picking it up. I would pick up the what's it called? The $270 one before I consider this, ironically, simply because the $270 one is literally the one that I own in real life, just the newest model of it. So it's the
you gotta have that
Yamaha MT-10. So I would get that one to kind of mimic my real life bike before I would get this one. But no, it's still cool. And if this one is black with green, like this paint, obviously that's not the only paint scheme that they have. So if it's that one, that would make it more difficult to say no, because black and green, obviously, Monster. I love Monster, and so that Kawasaki kind of goes hand in hand with that color scheme. So
Sponsor is Monster.
I think Kawasaki actually, their sponsor, like they're partners. So
That makes sense.
that's kind
Makes
of
a lot of sense.
that's kind
Yeah.
of fit. And then of course Lego Disney Classic, we've got 729 pieces, a stitch for $65, March 1st. I think it's going to be a buildable stitch, is my understanding. We've seen several Lego Idea sets that were this.
I know the Lego ideas. I'm trying to remember. Did we see one or two?
Oh, we've seen like 4.
Because I know there was one that I was like, that doesn't look good at all, and there was another one that was larger scale that used the large circular discs for the eyes that looked better.
I will pull one up. This one's pretty good.
Oh, that might have been the one I was thinking of, but
7 inches. How many pieces?
that is a pretty cool looking little set.
No piece count. But I feel like this is smaller than what we would see. Yeah, Mrs. CPA is a fan. This was actually going to be a surprise birthday gift, but she actually watched the stream today, so it's no longer a surprise. Oh, that one's funny.
I'm just not gonna get it right.
Yeah, no, I can't get it anymore. Sorry. Congratulations, you played yourself. That one's actually pretty good. But I feel like Lego should.
Yeah, if they do anything even slightly along the quality of these idea sets, it's gonna look good.
Yeah. And I personally would expect them to use some new molds maybe, and make it a little crisper, because they're you can tell it's Stitch, but I don't know, they're just a little off-putting, and I want it to be a little more crispy than that. Like Baby Yoda's looks pretty good, and so I would want it along the Baby Yoda style. So, like not so much flat feet and visible hinges and stuff like that, and studs for teeth. So, let's see what else. 730 pieces. What other sets are 730 pieces that we can buildable Baby Yoda? Let's see how much that one is. Or the child, I guess. Not Baby Yoda. The child is 1,000 pieces. But there's a lot of, because his robe takes up a lot of pieces. So I feel like it will, and of course in real life Stitch would be bigger than Baby Yoda, but I think it'll be 75% of the size of Baby Yoda. I think that's where my mind is at.
This one, hang on. I'm trying to see if I can find a comparison. X.
Other than that, though, I think those are all the updated leaks that we have for these.
I'm looking forward to the Lord of the Rings one. $400 definitely going to be keeping on the lookout to get that one for sure.
Oh, you linked that to me, right?
I did, yeah.
Oh, where's my? I played myself, and let's see. Let's go over on my phone. Bricks up Lego Lord of the Rings Barad-dûr. It's going to be 4,000 might be released later this year or first half of 24. And we do get Sauron. So you think we're going to get the full-on Sauron helmet?
I would certainly hope so. If they're putting a good amount of design into this, like it looks like from the render, I would certainly hope they. I feel like it would be very unfortunate if they gave us the set and then just gave us a not so great minifigure to go along with it. Because it's going to be a collectible if it's done right. Like I missed out on the last round of Lord of the Rings Lego, and I've already gone through the 7 stages of grieving and kicking myself for not getting any of those.
Because I imagine those prices are through the roof.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 83 centimeters high, 44 centimeters wide. Let's do some conversion here.
Also, just imagine what this is going to look like with maybe, on display with maybe a lighting kit. Like, this is going to be quite the display item, not just the collector's item.
It'll be 33 inches high. Let's get my old tape measure out. Whew. I'm going to scoot back. It'll just barely fit in frame. That's tall.
Yeah.
And then 17 inches wide.
Because, I think the more the width comes from the black gate and the area surrounding the tower. This is definitely going to be a good display item.
$400.
Yeah. Which is, I don't know, what do you think of that price point for this set?
They better, like you said, they better deck it out with minifigs. How many minifigs did Rivendell have? Like 10 to 15?
It had the full fellowship plus I think it had a couple elf. So
I think it had Elrond, if I recall correctly.
Well, I can tell you right now.
Yeah, exactly. And that one was $500, so this is $100 cheaper. Man, Rivendell, it's just such a beautiful 15 minifigs. The colors, I just love the colors so much.
Yeah, that is a good set. I definitely want to grab that one before it retires. I've got time.
When you get Bilbo.
Yeah. You get, like I said, you got the whole fellowship, Bilbo, a couple elves. And yeah.
I feel like we'll get some more info on this one soon.
Does that statue count as the minifig? Yeah. It looks pretty close to a minifig to me.
It probably is a minifig, but I feel like it wouldn't count. But I do not know.
Well, regardless, like we said, $400. I better get some good minifigures out of it. Otherwise, the renders set looks great.
Yeah, I would. Man, there's been a lot of heavy hitters lately, just from major IP. Rivendell, I think that was last year or late 2021. I don't know, or late 2022 or this year. I can't remember exactly. And then, I mean, the shadow box, not the best thing, but still kind of a bigger set from a major IP. Then we're getting a big Lord of the Rings set, and then of course Harry Potter and the bank. And what else? I mean, obviously Star Wars always has big sets.
And I'm sure we'll get a few more revealed to us here as the coming months.
Yeah,
it's always exciting.
So good time to be a Lego fan, obviously, and with the discounts coming around, I'll be picking up some of those, not those that we just mentioned, but some other sets. So definitely looking forward to the options. And next week, of course, as we wind down today, make sure you're here for next week because we're having a Lego designer on the podcast to talk about a Bricklink designer set that she designed that is going to be in production or the crowdfunding starts in February of 2024, if memory serves. And boy, I'm looking forward to that one for sure.
As well.
We're stepping our way up. Each interviewee that we have on here is just a little further up in the Lego. I don't know. I don't want to call it a hierarchy, but we've gotten a couple of Lego
And
ideas and
last week's was very revealing and educational, and it was a great conversation. And I expect next week's interview to be the same. There's going to be a lot of nuggets in there for us to expand on, and
yeah,
I hope we can continue doing these interviews.
exactly.
They've been very good.
And even the Delusion is good friends with, as he's mentioned, with I think it's a Brickister. So the guy who did the chocolate factory, which, man,
Yep.
I feel like the chances of none of those ones that we had on winning, I feel like that's low. One of them has to win. They're so good.
And when one of them inevitably does, I look forward to the follow-up
Yes.
discussion on it.
Oh, yeah. So thanks everyone for stopping by. We'll see you all next week on the podcast. My motivation has been super low for editing videos, so hopefully I can get the kick in the pants that I need to work on a couple of videos I have ideas with that are literally just sitting there waiting for me to edit. So how's your videos and your channel coming along? Any new developments?
Yes, actually. So I have actually a little bit of a plug here, but since you started it, I'm going to take the opportunity. I've actually have started work on my first video. It's going to be a review. I'm excited about it because it's not your typical review of a product. It's one that takes a little bit of experimenting with a couple products to get the right outcome that I'm hoping for. So I'm looking forward to sharing that experiment with you all and reviewing a product in the process.
Awesome. And let me pull up the channel. One moment. There it is.
You can even find it. It's so new, and I have no videos yet.
So here's actually, yeah, no, there we go. It's right up. So here's the channel. It's called Brickotomy and crisp black and white design. So go check it out. Any timeline on the video when you expect it to drop?
I don't have an exact timeline, but I'm working hard on it.
Awesome. And you looks like you got your first or another sub from Scott Davis. Here, let's watch it go with 4. Unless I already loaded in. Okay, I'm gonna assume I already loaded in. Yeah.
I'll remember you when I'm famous, Scott.
Scott's an OG. He's a what do we call a multi-channel user? He supports us all. Not multi-channel, subscriber. I don't know what to call it. Like he watches a lot of Lego content, so I'm sure he can more than happy to add this one to the list. So, alrighty, we'll send us off. Let's see. We got Scott, of course, Squidman, Dave, whoever else is in the chat hanging out. Thanks for stopping by. Of course, like and subscribe. You all know the role. Here, I gotta pull up the video. Where is it? There it is. There you go. Make sure you like the stream, subscribe, bells, bells and whistles, all that kind of stuff. And we will see you next week on the CPA-fol podcast.